let's start with something that I think many people, a lot of people would uh, treat as a task. One of the lights of my license plate, my car's license plate, burned, and I need a new one. I need to change it, but I'll do it myself. You know me. I like to do things, build things. So I need to understand. I needed to understand what was the light, where, how to open the light and do it. So what I did was I created a note. Let's create a note here in my action container because this is kind of a small project. License plate light. Okay, and this had the date where I started, when I started doing this. Let's use today's date as an example. Okay, because as you know, I add the date in front of all my notes. And I'm already thinking of this as a note that will become a knowledge base note. For now, it is here, an action that I have to do inside my action container. If you don't know what an action container is, if you don't know what a timeline system is, please go check this other videos here. And here I started taking notes. I first tried to disassemble, understand what was the light, and taking pictures. So this here, oops, I need to open this here because this is a picture. So I'm going to add this picture here, and it already has the date, and it can be here. Let's make it a little bit smaller. So this is the specification of the light, but there are other pictures that I took explaining when I was learning to how to open this. So they were all here, and then I found the light online and I got the real specifications and I took note of the specifications here. So why did I put it here? First, because this is something that I'm doing. It's an action, it's a work in progress. So this is why it is here in the action containers. It is not inside any place in special because I wanted it to be bothering me. I wanted it to be inconvenient. So it's here. It's not inside a folder, inside another container. It could be inside of Maker. It makes sense to be here, but I wanted to remember that I had to do this. So every time I looked at this, I knew that there there was still something that I needed to do. Maybe check understand what was the light, buy the light, whatever it is. If it's here, there's something that I have to do. So this is a strategy I sometimes use. Sometimes I leave some huge thing on top of my desk because I want to remember that I have to do something with that. So this is a strategy. Then when I finally fixed the lamp, I simply moved this to my knowledge base. I haven't talked a lot about the knowledge base. I have some sort of structure inside the knowledge base. Again, this is not my real account. This is the account I use to record the videos. I'll get to the knowledge base in the future. For now, I'm just going to drop it here so it is removed from the action containers. Okay, so that's an example. That's how I did that. This is a real case. This is something I did. I actually did. The second example came from a friend. It was more of a challenge. He uses the timeline system. So he bought some tickets for a concert and he wanted to know what I would do. First, I would add the dates to my calendar. I always do that because that's something that will happen on that date. And if I don't go to the concert, I'll be punished. And the punishment will be uh, I'll waste money. I won't see the concert. So every time there's something that will punish me if I don't do it on that time and date, a meeting with a friend, a doctor's appointment, a meeting with a client, there's always a punishment. Not paying a bill, there's always a punishment there. So that's on my calendar. And that's what I do. And that's what I did. But what about the tickets? So I don't have a space for for things like that here, but I do have trips, and this is something I actually do, and that's what I suggested to him to do. So I create a trip here, a fake trip, new folder, which is to my own city to watch the concert. So this trip would be 2025. This is the day of the concert, the fake day of the concert. Uh, so I don't know, Porto, because it's a trip to my own town, and I'll move the ticket here. So now I have the ticket inside the action container, inside the city, and with the date. When the date comes, I'll see the date in my calendar, and I know where to find the ticket to show the ticket when I enter the concert. When this is done, when I watch the concert, I can move this to the timeline, and I can also do something here. If you are a journal person, you can add a note here and take some notes and attach that concert ticket to the note and then move everything to the timeline. So where in the timeline will depend on what you will actually do. If it's a journal, you will move it to the journal. If it's just the ticket, I would move it to files and keep it here because it already has the date. But I have to move it away from the action containers because I have already done that. Okay, last example. This example is a good example to talk about why I have these types of containers here, action containers. Way back when I started using Evernote, it was kind of an intuitive way, an intuitive approach. I would always create notebooks to store information that is related to the same topic, and that's where that's the first seed of the action containers, the information containers idea. And I kept doing that forever. It didn't have a name, and as time passes, I came up with all this structure on all the and how the timeline system works. But I always do that. And I always did that. So I already have this idea of all this things that I do in life. And one of the things I do is, like I said in the beginning, I'm a maker. I build things, I create things. And I'm now in a process of redoing my desk. And what I'm doing is, for now, moving things around. If you could only see, this is a mess. I'm already building prototypes here, so there is dust everywhere. And I'm taking pictures and I'm having ideas and I'm taking notes and I'm drawing things on the Supernote. So all that is here. For example, there are some pictures here. Oh, by the way, here's a lot of dust. Here, this is how I take measurements because I don't need precise measurements. I need to understand roughly the size of things. And this is an IKEA desk. I'll build on top of it so I can go to IKEA's website and get the precise measurements. But I need things like this to have an idea of the size of the objects I'll be adding there that will be on top of the desk or on my new structure. So this here, oops, let's create here. So again, let's pretend this was today. So I'm going to create a new folder here, 2025. This is February the 24th, new desk. But in this case, I'm going to create a note here too. New desk 2025. The month is February and the day is the 24th. New desk. Okay. Here I can take notes, add files, do a lot of things here. But I also need to add all these guys here to this folder here. So now I have the note where I'll take notes, and I can also drag things like this. Let's make this a little smaller. And I can then drag things like this, take my notes, drag Supernote notes, and create here a checklist to buy things on a store. So there's a lot that I have that I'll use this node. That's why I need this node, that I'll use this node for. So when I'm done with this, when this project is completed, I can move this. Let's say maybe I'll move this new task node to the journal because this is something I did. I created myself. I will take notes here, share ideas with myself. I love to say that. I think of a journal as sharing ideas with my future self because it's so nice to read, go back and read. So it's like I'm talking to my future self, but that's a story for another video. Anyway, and then when this is also done, I can move all these pictures to the photos folder in the timeline. So in a situation like this, I would probably move the note to a journal and the pictures to the photos here inside the timeline system. Meanwhile, as you can see here, because there is a note, I know that I have a project, a woodworking project in progress. These are three real case scenarios, real life scenarios. This actually happened, one with a friend, and the other ones are in progress. The license plate one is already done. I have already fixed that. So, and the desk I'm starting now. Maybe I'll even share a video, a progress video with you guys. I hope this was helpful. If you found it helpful, please, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to help even more, please consider supporting my work on Patreon or here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you soon.